Ladies and gents, history repeats itself, and if you want to know what exactly is happening with AMC's price action for today, Wednesday, May 26, 2021, well, Professor Meatball and I are ready to give you guys that data download. But first, never forget that history does repeat itself. February 26, 2021, the Battle of 801. We're very close to being able to explain exactly why 500K is not a meme. Name your price mentality is not a meme. And that is because AMC was hovering right around 1966 earlier today. That is just 40 plus 30, 70 cents away from 2036. That is the 100% retracement of its price action from January. Just to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about, let me zoom out to the daily just to show you that downtrend from January. Look at this beautiful return of the Jedi, return of the Silverbacks story. What we were following is this downtrend. Let's connect these dots here, or one from the top of the January squeeze, one here from the end of that January squeeze, and one here from March. So if we can connect these roughly, it's getting hard to be able to include that directly, but we can include this small price action here. So from these three major rips, we were crossing over this downtrend at the end of Thursday 2 weeks ago. So that was the price action from that day, up 35% when Adam Aaron released the at the market for 40-ish million shares, which means $500 million worth of extra liquidity for AMC, and the rest has been history. Now we are this close, just this much more price action from the 100% of where we were back in January. And that it leaves a lot of people to wonder, well, are we poised for a gamma squeeze? How far does that gamma chain go? Look at the options chain here just for today. If options Sonar is your cup of tea, the link is in the description down below. Take a look at $40 at the very far right side, right? That has been the tip of that options chain for a good amount of time, and we are looking at more and more bulls heading on down to the far right side at $40. That is why we are looking at this sea of blue to roll us, wheelbarrow us, roll tide us all the way down to $40, and it is a crucial linchpin at $20, exactly where AMC was during that January squeeze, except this time it's not a flash. It is a slow, hard fought battle. So at the end of this video, I'm also going to show you guys a video from Mr. Jim Cramer of how he was wrong about the markets last time around in 2008. But if you guys don't mind, we have 1,300 likes to get to, so you comment out which like you are if we're not quite there yet, and let's dive in. AMC is looking sharp with its short interest rising every day for the past week or a week and a half now. We had the cost to borrow average up at 240% during the aforementioned Thursday 2 weeks ago, and that was when the smaller short whales were getting desperate to try and drive AMC's price action down. But now that the large whales are in control, they are biding their time. They're using their power in limited ways, right? We see that this number is not down to zero, even despite AMC's bullish price action today. So it looks like that if they were trying to borrow shares and continuing using shares that they don't have, that is something that we are having a hard time measuring, because this number was down at zero when the cost to borrow was all the way up to 240% back when AMC was fighting another hard battle. Right here, we're looking at that short interest slowly rising up again, which is giving us a glimpse at the fact that, once again, tell your friends, tell your family, nobody is covering, right? These are not an effect of covering. It's an effect of the AMC story getting told in a very pleasant way, in the fact that AMC Squeeze is #1 trending on Twitter, and the fact that AMC has the fundamentals to be able to have a major return, a major flashback on theaters reopening, being able to one day go inside without your mask on. This is starting to become a very favorable stock from every point of view. Now, you probably want to be able to understand, where is AMC's price action going for the rest of the day? Let me clear my board. Go to yellow. We saw a triple top here. And you might have noticed, if you follow along with the live streams, make sure to turn your bell icon on, even if you're subscribed already, so that you don't miss out on these live streams. 1, 2, and 3 times trying to top 1966. So that was a new level of resistance that I just added during the live stream. And this level of support down at 1920 caught it briefly, but then is acting as resistance. And that is something that we've seen often, resistance turning into support and vice versa. But at this rate, we are looking at AMC battling up against 1924 much of the rest of the day. In fact, last time we peaked above that 60% retracement, we were dipped our head above, saw one level of resistance, and then dipped right back below. So we did not have the arduous, the patience, and the time to be able to actually start writing up these levels of resistance and support, which means AMC has some solid foundation now to start rising up the ladder. In fact, if you zoom back a little bit, AMC rose up the ladder, not just 1 or 2 levels of resistance, but from the pre-market price action where we were waiting for it to cross over 78.6% retracement from yesterday. Remember how 1712 didn't seem like it was in the books until at least later this week? Well, it happened during pre-market before we even got a chance to talk about it, but that came above 1 and then 2 at 1832, and 3 at 1884, 4 at 1920, and finally 5 at 1966. So that is the amount of bullish price action that AMC's nearly 300 million volume has, and it's not even power hour yet. So we're looking at AMC very bullishly. We're having the VWAP come back up to meet 1880, and once it does, that is going to create an ironclad floor for the rest of today's price action. So pay attention to 1966 because that was 3 times hard fought, rejected all 3 times, but still is keeping AMC on the good behavior because of that ascending level of support. Now, like I promised, let's take a look at Mr. Jim Cramer signaling that everything is going to be fine, and then take that with a huge grain of salt. So let's see if this is it. March 11th, 2008.
Okay, Peter writes, should I be worried about Bear Stearns in terms of liquidity and get my money out of there? No, no, no. Bear Stearns is fine. Do not take your money out. This is real. If there's one takeaway other than a plus 400 somewhere, Bear Stearns is not in trouble. I mean, if anything, they're more likely to be taken over. Don't move your money from Bear. That's just being silly. Don't be silly.
Don't be silly. 6 days later. Remember, who's the silliest man?
Okay, just so you get a sense of what's causing the agony by this point, I know you've been talking about it. It's financials led by Bear Stearns after what essentially is a bailout from the Fed. Bear Stearns shares are down 90% this morning, and it's not just Bear. Pretty much every single bank is plunging in early trade this morning. Lehman, which is very similar to Bear and its reliance on fixed income, is down nearly 30%. You have big names like Goldman Sachs down 8%. So it is pain across the board this morning, and as you know, it all emanates from the shock this weekend that JP Morgan, along with the Fed, was going to be bailing out Bear Stearns for $2 a share. This is a stock that recently was trading at 80. Last year was trading at 160. It is the 5th biggest bank on Wall Street. It is significant in that it is establishing a price for some of these hard-to-value securities, and as you are...
Hard to value indeed. It wasn't that hard to understand that they were junk bonds. A couple of people saw Michael Burry, for example, and now you are looking at this wide array of due diligence to tell you that the markets right now are built on a house of cards. So if you're excited for that second part of the House of Cards DD, it is coming out soon. Mr. Austin Tobit is going to go on to Suzanne Trimbath's AMA first to talk about the second part, and then to exclusively to our channel to talk about the second part of exactly how these rehypothecated, very precarious loans that are going to essentially tip in either direction any day is likely going to start an unraveling of the major kind, an unraveling of the margin call kind. So as margin is calling, I hope you guys realize that when Jim Cramer tells you that everything is going to be fine, that the mainstream media is not going to televise the squeeze. And right now, I'm promising you that if you are going to follow the moon platoon to the moon, that I am not going to be televising my sells when that squeeze happens. So that's my YouTuber promise to you, but I will be giving you guys the signals in order for you to pay attention and have developed your own exit strategy. So from there, thank you guys for getting your 2 free stocks on Webull, for getting your $250 of free Bitcoin on BlockFi, and for giving cheat code a try, because that would be able to help you jump into the crypto market like I did. I jumped into Ethereum when I was at 1,800, Bitcoin at 32,000 over the weekend, and that was all thanks to cheat code. So use that link in the description below, and thanks to all of you that make this show possible. It means a lot. I'm going to be coming back later today. Hope you guys enjoyed this morning's live stream, and for now, but not for forever, I'll see you guys in the money. Peace.